What is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here. Welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel, and I'm joined by Canadian Yorker. And today we are recapping the Monday Night Raw that took place January 13th, 2025, and it took place in San Jose. Excuse me, it took place in San Jose, California, and it is the road to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which is next month in Indianapolis. So far, these shows in Netflix has been awesome. But Canadian Yorker, how is it going tonight?
I'm doing great tonight, feeling a lot more refreshed and focused, ready to talk about WWE. It's exciting. And man, I also want to say our hearts, thoughts, and prayers are with those in California going through such a rough time in this time in 2025. I mean, man, it's heartbreaking seeing what's going on out there. But our thoughts and prayers are with you.
All right, well said. Yes, thoughts and prayers go up to the people of LA for the forest fires. Hope you all are all right. Stay safe. It's crazy. But let's talk about WWE Monday Night Raw. So yeah, to start off the show, CM Punk steps out of a SUV and he goes to the entrance, makes his entrance, and gets on the mic. He takes the time to thank all the fine firefighters of the state of California fighting the fires. He talks about how he teared his tricep off the bone in the Royal Rumble last year and how that led to him to his failed WrestleMania main event. And then he said that he does the John Cena "You Can't See Me." He does the John Cena "You Can't See Me" wave and talks about Cena and said he sees him and he always had and he declared himself for the Royal Rumble. But he's here to tell us that so has he. So CM Punk has announced and for him. Excuse me. CM Punk has declared himself for the Royal Rumble, so CM Punk is going to be the Royal Rumble. He gets interrupted by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins gets in the ring and stares CM Punk down with a black eye before saying he knows Punk isn't happy to see him, but he shouldn't be surprised because last week he said win or lose or draw, he'll be standing in this ring and he's the man of his word. And if he wasn't a man of his word, he'll be CM Punk. CM Punk points out he won last week, and Seth said he'd rather be the worst version of himself than any version of Punk, and he lost a lot of matches, biggest matches, main events, title matches. He lost at WrestleMania. CM Punk said last week was the worst loss of his career. He's disappointed he couldn't get it done, and his only reputation is to flush Punk's WrestleMania dreams down the toilet. And so Seth Rollins said he's declaring for the Royal Rumble. Punk throws a few verbal jabs in a way. So Seth Rollins and CM Punk wants to fight. They get interrupted by Drew McIntyre. He gets on the mic from the stage and said he has topped himself in the ring of the self service. And CM Punk tells him the last time he saw him, he was blooded in the ring, crying and begging for evolution. And it's going to take a lot more than 15 staples to close his forehead if he comes to the ring this time. Drew tells them, "Whoa, whoa! I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Seth." And Rollins particularly doesn't take that well. McIntyre said the two of them in the ring are the same. The only difference is that Punk is willing to admit that he's an asshole. They go back and forth. Punk said he's out of patience for this conversation. If one of them wants to swing, he's right here and ready to fight. Rollins takes his jacket off and gets ready to go. Drew offers to make it a three-way and marches through the ring before, of course, deciding that he will never do that because he has bigger problem that Roman Reigns playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers, and he just have to step up and lead the locker room. Drew McIntyre said only if there was every man for himself for guaranteed title match. Oh wait, there is. Drew McIntyre said he will see them both at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, Drew McIntyre has announced his entrance to the Royal Rumble. So what are your thoughts on Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins segment? We know the history between these three men, so
Whew, man, these guys are cooking. They are cooking, man. Man, I can't wait to see the Royal Rumble to see who's gonna be the one coming out on top. Definitely, there's so many things going through my mind right now. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. Um, Drew McIntyre is the guy who took out CM Punk from being able to compete further in the Royal Rumble. Literally injured him and took him out of commission. And I just got this feeling, man. I got this feeling somebody's screwing somebody over. I got this feeling. I just got to say it. Somebody's screwing somebody over. I have a feeling Seth and Drew don't want CM Punk going forward. They're gonna screw him over. And man, I just got the feeling that this is this. I mean, we know Drew McIntyre and CM Punk's issues is their thing is through right now, but Seth Rollins and CM Punk, I don't think that's definitely not over. That's gonna continue to build heat, and you know this every time you see these guys get together, they they don't have a genuine love for one another. They hate each other, and so, man, yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. This just adds more intrigue into the storyline now that Drew McIntyre is throwing himself in there. Because once he throws himself in there, this makes it more interesting. We don't have the bloodline involved. The bloodline is not involved at all. Well, Roman Reigns is not involved at all. Neither is Cody Rhodes. Neither is Randy Orton. Nobody's involved. It's just these three guys. They're just going head to head against one another. We don't know who's going to be the winner coming out of this, but I know somebody is definitely getting screwed over. That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, someone is definitely gonna get screwed over. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a Royal Rumble this year. I can't wait to watch it. But moving on to the first match of the Monday Night Raw, we got Chad Gable versus a mystery opponent, and it turns out that mystery opponent is a we found out that mystery opponent is Penta. He's kind of like Rey Mysterio with a mask. He's really good. I think he came from AEW. I can't even know. I don't really pay attention to other pay per views. But Chad Gable versus a debuting Penta. He's also a luchador, so he's kind of like Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio's kind of like that. But Penta making his debut against Chad Gable. Um, Gable grabs his hand, wrist lock, reverse side headlock, shoves off, drops down. Penta rolls him over with his foot, back to the headlock, arm wrangler. Chad through, reverses top drop, toe hold, side headlocks of his own, headstand in a tense test of strength, trading near falls off the rope, trading deep arm drags, trading heel trips and quick pins. Gable shoves him into the corner for chops, rips him, zero blasts him with a super kick. Back roll. It went back and forth. Chad rolls into the floor off of the top rope. Gable pops back in. Exploder suplex. No. Penta throws him into the corner. Mounting punches to the tune of "You suck" chance. Penta boxes him ears, lips, slips under, and cheesy nozzles selects up a slingshot stomping the corner. Gable on the apron. Rolling so but cuts him off back and forth, and Chad lands a German suplex. Uh, Gable out after with leg kicks, posting Penta's knee into the ring post, rocking knees to knee over and over about, spiking his leg into the mat. Back suplex against the near fall. Gable in control, diving hit of a nope water and put Penta with a super kick. It went back and forth, trading chops on their knees. Penta back drop sends Gable crashing to the floor. Top Kunkiro both men down out on the floor, back inside whipped. Penta gets a lunge. Still no back and forth. Chad Gable up top, drawing Penta to the feet. Met with a slap. Penta steps up with a tyro to the mat, charging in. Flip driver bomb. Pile driver gets a near fall. It went back and forth. Chad Gable ankle lock applied, grinding zero down. He breaks Gable's arm with a sacrifice. Pump handle applied. Penta hitting the Penta driver on Chad Gable to win the match. And Penta defeats Chad Gable in his WWE debut match. What a win for Penta. I kind of knew that he was going to win since he was making his debut, and doesn't look like it doesn't look good for Chad Gable. But what are your thoughts on Penta defeating Chad Gable? I know that you don't really watch other WWE shows or whatever, but yeah, what do you think of Penta, and what are your thoughts on Penta WWE debut win over Chad Gable?
I definitely think this is a great win for Penta. He's just started in WWE, so this is his first win, his first match, especially against a technician like Chad Gable. He was able to get the win against him, and that's pretty impressive. Um, we like we said, we don't really know much about Penta because he's from AEW and we don't really watch AEW. I think we could definitely make an effort and check into AEW and see what's happening on the scene over there. It's definitely a good thing to do, and I definitely think maybe that's something we can invest into the future. One of the things that I noticed about this match was that Penta is just started. He's fresh, and it's a wonderful thing to see um, uh, a star from a different company, AEW, coming over from a different from AEW over into WWE and having success immediately. And honestly, yeah, you could say that Penta is a sort of like Rey Mysterio, but he is not Rey Mysterio. He is his own creation, and we have to treat him as such. Um, an interesting thing is that I think Penta, it's going to be interesting to see how Penta interacts with Legado del Fantasma and LWO now that he is here, and I would love to see what's going to be the turn taken with Penta and also interacting with Andrade and Dominic Mysterio now because now that he's here, what's gonna be his next move going forward, and it's gonna be really interesting to see where he's gonna be going. I will say for Chad Gable now, that Chad Gable needs to be pushed more. Honestly, the American Made and Chad Gable, these guys should be going forward, and Chad Gable should be at least be a champion by now. Having said that, because he was challenging Gunther, and he could definitely should be challenging. I could see him going after LA Knight. He should be doing that and stop feuding with Otis. This storyline that he's going on with Otis, this has to end at some point. Otis, and Alpha Academy, they gotta overcome American Made, man. They gotta move forward from American Made. These guys gotta they should WWE I think should stop giving us these teasers of American Made versus Alpha Academy. They need to have a match. We need to see a match between them at Royal Rumble. I would love to see a match with them at Royal Rumble. American Made versus Alpha Academy. Otis versus Chad. This has got to happen. Chad and Otis got to clash. We got to see this match happen.
All right. So moving on to the second match, we got Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus in a one-on-one match. We all know the feud in this match. Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, they've been going at it for a while, and once again they're facing on against each other one-on-one. Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus. Sheamus drops him with a lateral and pulls him up on the apron, but Kaiser counters and he crashes to the floor. Trading right hand on the floor, the Celtic Warrior knocks him down. Back on the apron, right hand beats up Rohan, denied. Ludwig knocks him into the announce desk. Kaiser follows out after him, hesitation drop kick on the floor. Sheamus with big chops, a lateral. Kaiser to the apron, the beats up Rohan follow. Back inside, setting up in the corner. Avalanche white noise for two. Kaiser grabs the shillelagh, but Sheamus cracks him with a knee for another near fall. Back and forth, Ludwig with the California Arrow so close. Sheamus get momentum. Sheamus was able to hit the bro kick. Sheamus gets the win against Ludwig Kaiser. Sheamus defeats Ludwig Kaiser once again. At this point, Sheamus is owning Ludwig Kaiser. We've seen Ludwig Kaiser get some wins over Sheamus, but at this point, Sheamus is just getting wins now. But Sheamus with a big win over Ludwig Kaiser in this tough rivalry. Hopefully this is the last. I'm kind of sick of seeing Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus, but yeah, what are your thoughts on Sheamus getting another win over Ludwig Kaiser?
Let's go, Sheamus. Let's go, Sheamus, man. Sheamus getting the win. That's a big win for him because Ludwig Kaiser, in the past has taken Sheamus out, and Sheamus and Kaiser, these guys have a never ending rivalry. This rivalry is not going to end anytime soon. I think that Sheamus and Kaiser, this should be the ending match for them. There should be no more things going on between Sheamus and Kaiser. I definitely think Sheamus is the perfect candidate to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Sheamus is the guy that I think that can definitely take on. Um, he could take on Gunther. I know Gunther has beaten Sheamus in the past, but this is the first time Sheamus has an opportunity to take on the and win the World Heavyweight Championship, and he could definitely challenge Gunther for the championship, and plus Gunther needs some worthy opponents to face him. So I definitely am for Sheamus challenging Gunther.
Oh, excuse me, I'm eating some crackers. Yeah, moving on. We got Gunther making his entrance. He says last week he followed the debut of Raw on Netflix with great interest and he was really impressed in the virtual experience, but as far as the action in the ring goes, he was less impressed. Everyone is fighting over something personal dramatic, but not, the only prize that's worth fighting is his World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther gets interrupted by main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso says that if you need someone to fight for the world title, he's your guy. Drew's behind him, Bloodline Drama's behind him, and now he's coming for Gunther at Saturday night's main event. Gunther said he had beaten him twice, and Jey is capable of a whole lot less. He is. He gives that he's funny and entertaining, but when that bell rings, he exposes him as he exposes him as a really talented tag team wrestler and nothing more. He's just not on Gunther's level, and to him, main event is a nickname. But to the ring general, the main event is the place he belongs. He let him challenge him at the Saturday night event, but he wants Jay to really think about it before he gets exposed. Gunther leaves, and Jay calls him back, saying he does respect him and everything he said. He was true. People said he's not supposed to be in the spot. He's not supposed to sell all this merchandise. He's just a tag team guy. But every morning he wakes up and belts on himself, earns that respect, and Gunther will respect him when he beats his ass for the world title. So yeah, we're having Gunther and Jey Uso at Saturday night event. So rematch. You probably hate this Canadian Yorker. What are your thoughts?
Uh, I don't know. I don't. I mean, here's the thing. If Jey Uso was not involved in the bloodline business, let me say yes. I think Jey Uso should go for a world heavyweight title shot. Um, he won his Intercontinental title. Now he's going in for the world heavyweight title, but he's still involved with the bloodline business going on with Sami Zayn and the Uso and Solo and all those guys. So I think if he's there, there's a chance. If he challenges, he challenges Gunther. Now he's challenging Gunther. Do I think that Jey Uso can beat Gunther? You know, one on one. Um, this is I'm gonna have to say it's like a no. Um, it will be a really tough battle for Jey Uso, because Gunther is. I think he can definitely beat Gunther, but it's gonna be a close race for Jey Uso because Gunther. I think Jey Uso definitely challenged Gunther before, and he almost won, but Gunther capitalized on his mistakes. Um, I think that Gunther, he's proving himself to be a dominant champion. We're seeing the Gunther, the real Gunther, come out. He's not winning. He's not winning with the help of others. He's winning because he's capable of it. And with the Saturday night match coming up, um, yeah, we'll have to see what will happen. If Jey Uso does win, that will be a huge boost for Jey Uso. And he's one of the most popular wrestlers right now in WWE. And for him to win right now would be a big boost. But I do think when he's going to be a world heavyweight champion or WWE champion, it's going to happen after this whole bloodline business is completely taken care of with The Rock and Roman and his brother and Solo. So after this whole thing is taken care of, that's when he's going to be champion. It'll be really hard for him to focus on being the WWE champion or world heavyweight champion right now with all the craziness going on between the two bloodlines.
All right. So yeah, moving. Moving on, we got the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament Finals. We're finally here to crown a new Women's Intercontinental Champion. We got Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria. Collar and elbow shut up, roll under, like a roundhouse fire hammer. Valkyria slips out, shoved off. Fireman's carry. This time, Dakota Kai slips out. Slate made. Back to the lockup. Lyra with a wrist lock. Dakota with a flying mare. Valkyria ducks a stomp and pulls her into the floor and rams her into the apron. Off the top rope, wrecking ball dropkick. Kai catches her and drives her face into the apron. Valkyria comes back with a suplex off the apron. Valkyria with a seated surfboard rolling back to elevate Kai off the mat, cover for two. Dakota Kai with a super kick. Lyra rolling slow butt shove. Dakota Kai handstand kicks Valkyria, lifts her up with a powerbomb, but Dakota counters it and slings her into the corner. Kick around the way, flips, longboard, no, still no. GTK block, Lyra with a linger bomb, so close back and forth. Scorpion kick from Dakota, slingshot stomp to the back of the neck. Fireman or GTX connects. Valkyria rolls to the safety of the floor, back inside, Lyra cuts her off. Lyra hits the ninth wing. Lyra Valkyria defeats Dakota Kai to win the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. So Lyra wins the Intercontinental Championship, and my prediction was right. I called it way before the bracket came out, and I said Lyra got to win. My pick is Lyra for my pick is Lyra to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and yeah, she did it. I was right. Oh my goodness, Lyra was a huge win, becoming your inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. As after the match, General Manager Adam Pearce presents her with the belt, and Dakota Kai slides back in the ring and shows Lyra the respect, raising her hand, and they embrace. So Lyra Valkyria is your new Women's Intercontinental Championship. Well deserved. She deserves it. Wow. What are your thoughts on Lyra Valkyria defeating Dakota Kai and becoming the new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion?
Um, I think here's what I think. Congratulations to Lyra Valkyria for winning and becoming the Intercontinental Champion. Um, I think it could have gone both ways. Um, it definitely it could have been it could have been um, it could have been the other challenger to
Dakota Kai?
be, yes, it could have been Dakota Kai to win the championship. Now, if Dakota Kai won and became the Intercontinental Champion, that would have made it interesting because Damage Control is back in the picture. Now, Damage Control is the one that is in the picture, and it makes things interesting because Damage Control was in the mix right now, but Lyra Valkyria became the champion. I think that's great. She's only been in WWE for about a year or so, and she's already achieved success, and that's great for her. But I think in the back of my head, I think it should have been Io Sky. It should have been Io, because Io Sky is a popular, is still popular. She's one of the most popular wrestlers out there. No disrespect to Lyra Valkyria. Um, I think it's great for Lyra to win, and now we have a Intercontinental Championship for the women's division, and this is a great pickup win for Lyra. And I wish her the best as she is the new champion, and she hopefully she'll have a good successful title reign going forward, and we'll have to see what happens continue with her going forward. So
Yeah. So moving on to the next match, we got Sami Zayn versus The Miz in a one-on-one match. So Sami Zayn and The Miz. I actually didn't realize that this match happened, so I didn't really know this match happened until I saw it. So that's interesting. I don't really know how this match came about, but I actually didn't realize that Sami faced The Miz. But collar and elbow, Miz backs him up into the corner and unloads with right hands. Side headlock wrenches in. Sami Zayn shoots him off. Drop down, leapfrog. Huge elbow takes the A-lister down, smashing his face into the turnbuckle. Diving axe handle connects. Miz with a big knee and a running boot. Sami taking it to him to the corner with mounted strikes, corner, exploder, suplex, laying in wait, charging, but in the Miz knocks him down with a big boot and follows with a basement DDT. So close. Pressing into a corner to corner. Sammy hits the haluva kick and follows it up. Um, Sami Zayn hits the Blue Thunder Driver after the haluva kick and wins the match. Sami Zayn gets the win over The Miz. Probably a big win. Sami Zayn with the big win over The Miz by pitfall. What are your thoughts on Sami Zayn defeating The Miz with the Blue Thunder Driver? We've seen that move done, but it seems like Sami can't get the win with the Blue Thunder Driver, as we've seen. But what are your thoughts on Sami Zayn defeating The Miz?
I think it's a great pickup win, big, huge pickup win for Sammy to get the win over the Miz because he has been in and out of action apparently with Sami Zayn getting the win again is good for him, and it makes it interesting with the Miz. And I think the Miz is the Miz still affiliated with the Final Testament. Is the Miz still affiliated? Is the Miz still with the Final Testament?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, it makes it interesting. But here's something that I have in my head, right? The Miz is there. I think the Miz is not going to forget this. Sami Zayn winning against him, and it will be really interesting in the future after the OG bloodline is done. This whole bloodline business is done. Sammy, Jay, Jimmy, Roman. This whole thing is done with the bloodline. I want to see. I want to see the Final Testament getting this push, man. The Final Testament is taking out the bloodline. This has to happen. This is just my thing. I think that the Final Testament is taking out the bloodline, and they are usurping themselves as the new big giant heel. They really haven't really had any big matches, but this would make it interesting. The Final Testament coming in, taking out Karrion Cross, taking out Roman, uh, the Miz taking out Jay and Sammy and Jimmy. I mean, these guys are big and dangerous. This is the big bad boogeyman. That is taking out the face group of the bloodline, the OG bloodline. What do you think about that?
Yeah, thing is the Wyatt thing is I don't think that's gonna happen because the Wyatt Six are got transferred to SmackDown, so I think the Final Testament is gonna stay on Raw.
Yes, yes, yes. The White Six will be staying on SmackDown, and shoot, that's gonna make it tough.
Because I think
Hmm.
I can see the Wyatt Six going after Solo's group.
Oh yes. Now the White Six going after the
But
Solos
its
group
only
would be
issue is
interesting.
like
Yeah.
what the only issue is like what Nikki Cross is gonna do because there's no female member of the Bloodline. Do you think the new Bloodline might introduce a female member? Then they can feud with the Wyatt Six because the Wyatt Six have one female on their team, which is Nikki Cross.
Yes, they do. They do have they do have something going on. They have six members, but the new bloodline don't have six members. So they have a numbers advantage against the new bloodline. But these they do have a you know they don't have a Jacob Fatu on their side. But here's what I think. That the Karrion Cross. I mean, if here's the thing. If the OG bloodline transfers to Raw, then we can have a carry at the Final Testament versus versus the OG Bloodline on Raw on Netflix.
But the
That
thing
would
is
make it
like say, but
really
the
interesting.
but the only issue is that like Scarlett's gonna be useless because there's no female.
Yeah, that would be an issue. I mean, I think that is something that WWE would have to work out, but it would be really interesting to see that happen. Because I think Karrion Cross. Here's why I am mentioning this. Right, Karrion Cross nearly caused the breakup of the New Day. Nearly. He was close. He was saying things on social media. he was planting seeds in Xavier Woods' minds. He was trying to break the New Day. He was trying to break Kofi away and away from Xavier and Xavier away from Kofi. Um, he was he was playing mind games with Kofi and with Xavier to pit them against one another. Now, if Karrion Kross were to try the same thing on Raw on the OG Bloodline, I think they wouldn't be as affected by it, but he would definitely be planting seeds in their heads, and that would make them in the fight against one another. It would just kind of make an interesting storyline in my own opinion, to see that happen, because I mean, these guys haven't really been doing much, so it would be making interesting to see them actually get the push that we need to see them get the push for. So
All right. Moving on to the next. Oh my God, what's going on with my internet? Let me see. What the hell is going on? Come on. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Come on. Dude, what's going on?
if you want to stamp a time stamp, it will be on when you were talking about Sami Zayn versus The Miz.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the. Here we go. Give me a second, sir. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. My camera computer is acting up. Not this one. All right, so. Oh my God, that was bad. Sorry, guys, about that. Here we are at the next segment. Is Rhea Ripley making her entrance, excuse me, and gets on mic. She says Mommy is back on top, and she might sound like a broken record, but if you forgot, she's Rhea Bloody Ripley, and she's one of the most dominant women in WWE. Excuse me. And now, once again, your WWE Women's World Champion. She gets interrupted by Nia Jax, who's wearing a cheetah print corset over a cheetah print bodysuit. And friends, I love animal print. I don't know, but I mean, that's your girl, Canadian Yorker. Just kidding. Um, enter Nia Jax. She said that she was just talking to Adam Pearce about the transfer window, and she decided to come down here to tell everyone she's winning the Royal Rumble and taking whatever title she wants. Tiffany Stratton might think she's on the tippy top. Rhea might think she's on the top, but she doesn't know why Bailey is at ringside. Bailey says she lives here. Nia runs her down with a living in a crap town. Bailey jumps a barricade. Nia makes scary fingers and insults Bailey's ass. And the Royal Madam says that this might not be her show, but it's her city, and Jack should say it to her face. You dumb idiot. Nia shoves her down, shoves Rhea down, headbutts exchange, but the baby faces sent Jack packing with kicks. So yeah, this is interesting. We might see Nia Jax get traded to Raw, so that means we get to see Nia Jax live more often. Canadian Yorker. But what are your thoughts on that segment with Rhea Ripley, Nia, and Bailey?
I don't think that Nia Jax is done with Tiffany Stratton at all. Not after the betrayal that she got last week, after after losing her title in such an embarrassing fashion. I don't think she's done with Tiffany Stratton whatsoever. Um, I think, I mean, it's definitely a tease for that matter. I definitely think that Nia Jax has every right to go into the Royal Rumble and become the next challenger for the championship belt. Um, Jax could definitely do that if she wants to. Bailey could also challenge for the. I mean, Bailey, out of all people, lost her championship to Nia Jax, and she also, I think, almost got herself. She almost lost her championship to Tiffany Stratton, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So I think Bailey could definitely be going after Tiffany Stratton for the chance to get her win her title back on SmackDown. I don't think that Bailey wants to be back on Raw where you have damage control there. So that's not happening. I don't see Bailey leaving SmackDown to come back to Raw. Nia Jax, though, yes, she could be doing that, but I think maybe she probably will stay on SmackDown. That's my thing. Uh, that's what I think. And Rhea Ripley, of course, she still has to deal with the Judgment Day and Liv Morgan. I don't think Liv Morgan's probably going to be challenging Rhea Ripley for asking for a rematch. That's probably going to happen. We'll have to see what happens going forward.
All right, so moving on to the main event. By the way, this show was 2 hours and 30 minutes, not 3 hours, so that was a little surprising. But main event, we got Damian Priest versus Finn Balor in a street fight. So wow, street fight. This was a great match. Um, Finn hammering Priest with candlestick shots out to the floor, putting him through a table with the apron. Damian catches him and reverses SKOs him into the desk. Priest goes under the ring for a plunger, and he comes out with a table. Setting up the table, Finn comes back and shoulders him over the barricade and out to the crowd. Damian meets him with a kick and throws him over an eternal barricade. Balor smacked him with a full trash can a few times. Damian Priest takes it from him and returns the favor before putting him over his shoulder and lawn darting him into the barricade on his way back to the ring side. Finn catches him with a kick over the barricade on the far side, and he hits Damian with the open chair. Chops, whip, reverse, and Ballard go through an external barricade up some stairs. Priest scoops him up, broken arrow off of balcony and through a table. Referees and road agents checking them. Um, we see that Finn Balor has been loaded onto a stretcher and is being wheeled out, but Priest isn't done yet, and he attacks Judgment Day on the stage and sends him packing. He walks Finn as he unstraps him and wheels the stretcher down the ramp, sending Balor flying off of it and into the ring. God damn, Damien. I'm going for it off the ropes. A axe bomber looking for a South of Heaven, but Judgment Day has recovered and they lied on Damien Priest. JD McDonough with a moonsault. He and Carlito put Finn up top like a weekend at Burner. Priest kicks. Finn Balor hits the coup de grace on Damian Priest, but Damian Priest kicks out. The War Raiders makes the save. They take out JD with a War Machine, brawling to the back. Finn hits Sling Blade, rolling out Damian Priest with a steel cage. Horse collaring him, head of steam, but Priest pops up, South of Heaven with the chair still around his neck, and Balor kicks out. Setting Damien up on the table on the coup de grace for the table. Dragging Priest to his feet, Damien recovers and stamples him for the Timekeeper's barricade. Priest follows him with a razor's edge through a table. Back inside, the straps are down. He said he's not his brother's keeper. Damien Priest hits the South of Heaven on Finn Balor. Damien Priest defeats Finn Balor by pinfall in this street fight. What I can say is, what a match. What are your thoughts on this amazing match between Damien and Finn? Do you think this is the end of their rivalry? Damien Priest defeating Finn Balor in this street fight. What are your thoughts?
This this is the final nail in the coffin for this between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. This is it. I believe this is it. This should be it. There should be no more matches between Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and I believe it is also Finn Balor's time at as has in the time of the Judgment Day has come to a close. I definitely believe that Finn Balor is going to be kicked out on the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day is going to turn on him. He's going to be kicked out. He's out. Dominic and Liv are kicking him out, and we're not going to see Finn Balor return. He's probably going to be feuding with Dominic Mysterio, and the Judgment Day is going to evolve again. And these guys, they can't win against Damian Priest. They can't win against the War Raiders. It's impossible. It's a tough choice. There has to be changes that have to be made. Obviously, um, I think it's a great match, and it's great that Damian Priest won once again. It's tough for Finn Balor to win uh, against Damian Priest because Damian Priest is the stronger opponent, of course. So the odds of him winning were not in his favor. I mean, Finn Balor could have won. If he won, it would have made a definite statement that. But I don't see Finn Balor staying with Judgment Day any more longer because I think he's hit his uh, he's he's basically hit the highest point of where he can go with Judgment Day. They're not going to be the same without him. I think JD McDonough is going to be betraying Finn Balor. Um, I definitely think that Dominic, JD, and it's going to happen. I think that Liv Morgan is definitely betraying him. Um, we're going to see what's going to happen with that, and also, um, the War Raiders coming out. War Raiders, Ivar and Erik coming out to save Damien. That's wonderful. They're the tag team champions, so that's great. For Damian Priest, I hope that this is just the beginning of he can go into the Royal Rumble. Let's see Damien go into the Royal Rumble. He's got to be going in there. He's got to challenge. He's got to become the next challenger for the World Heavyweight title, or the WWE title. Whoever, whichever it is. I hope he does that, and that's going to be great to see. Um, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that.
Alright, so that would do it for Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for watching. And in terms of our grading, I love this show. I absolutely love this show. Netflix is balling on Raw. Raw on Netflix is definitely awesome. So I'm giving this show an A minus. How about you?
I'm giving it an A. I definitely think that actually I give it an A minus as well. I definitely think that is there's a lot that we're going to see and it's going to be popping this year. Hopefully, everything's a build up to Royal Rumble. It's going to be exciting. Next few weeks, and then next month is going to be Royal Rumble. It's going to be exciting. So can't wait for that.
Alright, so that would do it for Monday Night Raw broadcast. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Bruin Steele. This is Canadian Yorker. Be sure to check out Canadian Yorker's YouTube channel. The link will be in the description of this video, as well as our wrestling channel, which is WWE Wrestling Bros. That link will also be in the description as well. But anyways, we are all out of here. See you guys later. See you guys in the next broadcast. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And take care, guys. See you guys later. See you guys in the next
Good night.
broadcast. See you guys later.
Good night.